Sometimes no matter how bad you play, you can't win. Let's talk Lions football.
Elbow, forearm, he's going to be down.
The result of the play is a touchdown.
And then the flag that was thrown on this was picked up.
I don't know, did it get the face mask?
Only do that if you're telling the official you're reporting.
The Lions hangover.
How's it going, everybody? I am Brad. You are watching the Lions Hangover Podcast, or you're listening to the Lions Hangover Podcast, which brings me to my next point. Please don't forget that you can find me on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. I would like to thank everybody for rating and subscribing. I appreciate it. Don't forget, you can also find me on all social medias, X, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as TikTok. Those are always the exciting ones. This is probably going to be a short one today because there's not too many highlights and not too much to talk about other than how bad the Lions played today on all three facets. They drop today's game against the Minnesota Vikings, 27-24. This drops the Lions to 5-3, while it boosts the last place Minnesota Vikings to 4-4. So let's just start from the beginning. The Lions start strong on their first possession. Sam Laporta was looking good. Jared Goff was looking good, but that was all just temporary, as it's like Laporta was nowhere to be found for the next two quarters. When the Vikings take over on their first drive of the game, our run defense wasn't ready to play yet. I don't think J.J. McCarthy played that great. He had less than 150 yards. I think he was only about 50% completion percentage as well. Over the next few drives, the Lions couldn't do much at all. The offensive line was poo-poo. Gibbs was pretty much non-existent. J-Mo was non-existent until his big touchdown. St. Brown had another drop. I mean, they would have been difficult catches for him to have made, but still, you expect more out of St. Brown just because he's been so reliable in the past. It does seem like Laporta was the man on fire today. They just stopped throwing him the ball for whatever reason in the second and third quarter. Terran Arnold's interception, his first career interception, was actually one of the few plays the refs got right. The refs were a bit tough today. A lot of the penalties, and the Lions were penalized 10 times. This is a season high so far this season. I don't want to make excuses on it, but there were probably 3 or 4 penalties that important penalties that they called on the Lions that you see go on game after game, and it's never called. The penalty on Hutchinson for his leg touching McCarthy's leg, that was a weak call. The penalty on, was it Campbell for falling on McCarthy too? Like, that also was extremely weak. It's a football play. This is football. This is a man sport. Like, what's the problem here? Like, there was nothing ill intent about that play. Excuse me. There was nothing. It didn't even look like he put his full weight on him. It looked like he had a knee and an elbow on the ground, as well as taking McCarthy to the ground. It was a good hit. I'm pretty sure it's the Campbell play that I was thinking of. A weird silver lining today is that the Packers also lost, so it's not like we lost any ground, but the problem is the Vikings and Bears gained ground today. I believe the Bears are now tied with us for second place. Excuse me. Itchy chest. The second half of the game, it's like, if the Lions won today, they would not have deserved to win. Outside of a few explosive plays, their offense just was not there. Was not there whatsoever. Like I was saying, the offensive line was garbage. The defense was garbage. There were some pressures on McCarthy, so the defensive line gets a little bit of a pass here. But I'm underwhelmed with the play of Anzalone today. I thought Terran Arnold played great. Other than that, our secondary wasn't that great. I thought Amik Robertson could have played a little bit better. It's easy to call these guys out when there's a loss. Our special teams was garbage. We give up a 99-yard touchdown. Even though it was called back due to the holding penalty, you still gave up 99 yards. Like, it was such a insignificant hold. The Lions actually kind of caught a break there. At least I felt. You still gave up that touchdown. It's still something you need to work on because you're not always going to get that holding call. The blocked field goal, is that Jake Bates' fault? Is that the offensive line's fault? Like, just the special teams just was not there. Excluding Jake Bates, the punt god, he can still kick the ball pretty damn good. The Lions just didn't look like they showed up to play. They looked flat coming out of the bye week. Is this a problem that the Lions have? I don't remember them losing coming out of the bye week last week or last season. But I do know that they got a first-round bye last season, and they played very poorly against the Washington Commanders. So maybe the Lions just don't need to take a week off anymore. Maybe the Lions just do a better job when they're playing hurt and nobody is rested. I'm not worried. This is just disappointing. I wasn't impressed with the call playing today. The coaching I thought was very bad. If you want to credit the penalties to the coaching was horrible. You cannot get penalized 10 times. Even if you want to knock off the 3 horse crap calls, that should not have been penalties anyway, you're still looking at least seven legit penalties, and that still is not excusable, especially when it's stuff like false starts and offsides. Like, that is legit discipline. Holding, I just feel like there's holding on every single play. I don't feel like they ever seem to call holding on the opposition, not as much as they should. I feel like Hutch is constantly getting held. I'm sure McNeil is constantly getting held. I'm sure at this point Al-Quadin Muhammad is getting pretty much held every single play. Every single play it's happening. They're tugging on somebody's jersey. They've got their hands on the outside of their shoulders. Like, this is happening, and I'm sure the Lions are doing it too. We've got blinders on, just for us. But the way I see it is it's unfairly not being called. I wasn't a fan of the play calling at the end of the fourth quarter. I would have preferred them throw the touchdown to J-Mo before the 2-minute warning, because you still could have used the 2-minute warning as a timeout, potentially. So happy they did score the touchdown when they did. So happy for J-Mo that he got the touchdown. I thought he would have been involved much more. I thought he would have had like 6 or 7 catches today. I'm not sure what's going on. St. Brown didn't have it. Gibbs, where was Gibbs the second half of the game? Did he get injured and I missed it? Speaking of injuries, everybody was going down with injuries left and right. They were coming back, but Mahogany was out. But Panay went out. St. Brown went out. Decker went out. I feel like, so Mahogany was ruled out through the game. Tate Ratledge went out for a little bit. I don't remember if he came back or not. Terrion Arnold was out for a little bit. Decker was out for a little bit. Linebacker Ty Summers was out for a little bit. It just seemed like, and as I said, St. Brown went out for a play or two, a play and a half. Let's call it a play and a half. It just, nothing seemed like it was going the way of the Lions. Outside of a few explosive plays, it didn't seem like the Lions could do anything. With that being said, let's talk about the flowers, which there are not a lot of flowers today. So Sam Laporta is Detroit's first tight end since at least 1991 to produce 3 receptions and 65 receiving yards and a receiving touchdown in a single quarter. So congratulations, Laporta. Laporta is one of the few bright spots on offense today. David Montgomery has rushed for his 30th touchdown as a Detroit Lion. That means that Montgomery and Gibbs are the NFL's first running back duo in the Super Bowl era to each rush for 30 or more touchdowns over any 3-season span. And then Jack Campbell is the first off-ball linebacker to produce 1 sack in 3 straight games since Antonio London in 1995. And that's it. that's it for Flowers today. All right, so let's break down these drives. Lions start off strong with the first drive. As I was saying, it was a 72-yard drive. It took off 2 minutes and 23 seconds, and it ends with a 40-yard touchdown pass from Goff to Laporta. And nothing was stopping Laporta on this touchdown. Check it out.
Fourth down, Goff to throw, zips right up the middle. Laporta's got it inside the 10. Laporta still on his feet and dragging Vikings over the end zone. He is in. Touchdown.
All these special plays, and it's just Laporta right down the middle. They got to deal with the screen in the run game. And they try to disguise their intentions in the secondary with their coverage, but they lose track of Laporta right down the middle of the field, and Goff isn't losing track of number 87 either.
The Vikings come right back on their next drive with a 10-yard touchdown pass to Justin Jefferson from J.J. McCarthy. Then the Lions punt, and then the Vikings take the lead on the next drive with McCarthy pass short to the middle to T.J. Hockenson, our buddy T.J. Hockenson. Then the Lions punt again. Finally, the Lions force a 3-and-out at the start of the second quarter. Lions come back and tie the game with a 2-yard touchdown run from David Montgomery. Next time the Vikings have the ball, they kick a 50-yard field goal from Reichard. Sorry, my eyeballs are messed up today. Then there was the punt by Fox. Sorry, I'll get this under control in a second. And then on the next drive for the Vikings, there was the interception by Terrion Arnold, but that means nothing because the Lions. Actually, let's take a look at that interception by Terrion Arnold.
Four-man rush. McCarthy zips it over the middle. I think it's picked. Arnold has his hands on it. Where's the signal? Fighting for the ball that time with Jalen Naylor.
I'm open, and the ball's on his back hip.
But right here is where he takes it.
Controlled. Oh, it's not controlled. Oh.
Oh, boy.
Looks like an INT.
This is close, Tom.
Yeah, just he's got him open, and again, that's just a D throw when it's behind him like that.
Did it hit the ground, too?
Ooh.
After a crew discussion, the ruling on the field is an interception by Detroit. First down.
Then the Lions are able to do nothing with it as they go 3-and-out and they punt the ball away. Now, start of the second half, you're hoping for something new. Lions defense starting to come together a little bit in the second half. They force a 5-and-out for the Minnesota Vikings, but the Lions can't get anything going. They punt after a 3-and-out. Vikings punt again. Then there's a fumble by David Montgomery. It was going to be a huge first down, a crucial first down, but he fumbled it away. This leads to a 9-yard touchdown run from J.J. McCarthy. Lions come back and score a field goal on their next drive. It is a 41-yard field goal by Jake Bates. This makes the score 24-17 in favor of the Vikings. And then the Lions force a 3-and-out, and then to get them a little bit closer after going for it on fourth down and getting the first down on that, they fizzle out after that. But there's a blocked field goal, which absolutely sucks and comes back to haunt them by the end of the game. Then there's a field goal by the Vikings that makes it 27-17. Lions are able to score a touchdown on this 37-yard touchdown pass to Jameson Williams.
Lions need this. Goff throwing for Jameson Williams. He's got it! Diving to the end zone. Is he in? Wow. What balance from Jameson Williams. Nope, he's in. He's in all day. That is a touchdown.
But the Lions are unable to keep the Vikings from getting a first down, so they run out of timeouts, and the game is over as the Vikings take the victory formation. So let's do stats now, starting with the bad guys. J.J. McCarthy didn't have a great game. He went 14-25 for 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception with a quarterback rating of 82.5. He was sacked 5 times for 27 yards. Most of those sacks were pretty soft, honestly. And if they weren't soft, then there were penalties. Aaron Jones ran the ball 9 times for 78 yards. Like I said, the run defense was absent. Jordan Mason did come in after Aaron Jones went out with an injury. He ran the ball 10 times for 36 yards. Jordan Addison led the team with 48 yards receiving on only 2 catches. However, Justin Jefferson had 6 catches for 47 yards with 1 touchdown. TJ Hawkinson got the other touchdown. He had 2 catches on the day for 11 yards. J.J. McCarthy did have 1 fumble, but it was recovered by the Vikings. And the top 5 tacklers, Blake Cashman had 14 total tackles, 6 solo. Byron Murphy had 8 tackles with 5 solo. Javon Hargrave had 8 tackles, 2 solo with 1 sack. Eric Wilson had 6 total tackles, 4 solo with 2 sacks. Joshua Metellus had 5 tackles, 1 solo, and then where are the other sacks? Jalen Redmond had a sack, and Levi Drake Rodriguez had a sack as well. Now, Will Reichart, he went 2 for 2 on field goals. His longest was 50. He also went 3 for 3 on the extra points. Now let's talk about the good guys who just happen to be losers today. Jared Goff went 25 of 37 for 284 yards, 2 touchdowns, sacked 5 times. Offensive line was doo-doo, except Penei Sewell. I thought he played tough. It was a tough game. Give credit to the Vikings. The Vikings played hard today. They outplayed us, and we definitely did not look ready to play. Jared Goff did have a quarterback rating of 108.4. David Montgomery ran the ball 11 times for 40 yards with 1 touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs only ran the ball 9 times for 25 yards. Sam Laporta was the leading receiver with 6 catches for 97 yards and a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 9 catches on 13 targets for 97 yards as well. J-Mo caught the ball 4 times for 66 yards with a touchdown. His longest was that 37-yard bomb, and Brock Wright also had a catch for 11 yards. Jack Campbell was today's leading tackler for the Lions defense. He had 9 total tackles, 6 solo, 1 sack. Alex Anzalone had 7 total tackles, 4 solo. Brian Branch had 6 total tackles, 4 solo. Derek Barnes, 5 tackles, 4 solo with 1 sack. Tyler Lacey also had a sack today. Aiden Hutchinson also gets credit for a sack, and Al-Quadin Muhammad also gets credit for a sack today. Taron Arnold, like I said, got his first career interception, so congrats to him. I actually thought he played okay. Jake Bates was 1 for 2 on field goals. His long was 41 yards, and Jack Fox punted the ball 5 times with an average of 47.6. He was inside the 20 twice. Now let's get to the team stats. The Lions had 15 first downs. The Vikings had 20. The Vikings were 3 for 5 in the red zone, while the Lions were 1 for 3. The Vikings were penalized 7 times for 56 yards. Lions were penalized 10 times for 76 yards, and those were very crucial yards. That's not why they lost, but it definitely didn't help. That blocked field goal is the standout for the reason why the Lions lost, as far as I'm concerned today. Both teams had at least 1 turnover. Lions had the fumble, and the Vikings had the interception. And the Vikings had the ball for 28 minutes, 52 seconds, while the Lions had the ball 31 minutes and 8 seconds. Total attendance today at Ford Field was 64,642. Now, this loss is going to be a tough pill to swallow. We cannot let it come back to haunt us. All we have to do is just get ready to play the next game, which is Washington next week at 4 o'clock. It is in Washington as well. The Lions are going to have to rebound from this if they want to do anything this season. Washington is a very vulnerable team, but honestly, so were the Vikings. And the Vikings came to play, and the Lions did not. I have no doubt in my mind that they will be ready to play next week. So it's an outdoor stadium. Hopefully the weather will be good, but it doesn't matter. Both teams have to play in whatever elements are there. As of right now, I'm predicting a Lions victory, but we will have to wait and see how things go. losses like this definitely make you question everything. I think that's it. I mean, this is a disgusting game, so I don't want to dwell on it too much. I'm just ready to move on. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for subscribing. And I will be back in a few days with the preview game for the Washington Commanders versus the Week 10 matchup for the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you.